Welcome history enthusiasts and mythbusters to our exciting video series, Busting Myths, a fun dive into historical events. Today we're going to embark on a thrilling journey into the enigmatic world conspiracy theories and historical mysteries. From the infamous 9/11 conspiracy theory, the mysterious builders of the Great Pyramids, to the intriguing question of the moon landing, we've got a lot lined up for you. So, buckle up, sit tight, and get ready for the ride of a lifetime. Our first stop is one of the most controversial conspiracy theories in recent history. Was 9/11s really faked by the government? This theory has stirred up a storm since the heartbreaking event took place in 2001, suggesting that it was a calculated orchestration by the US government to justify subsequent wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. But is there any substantial evidence backing this theory? Or is it all just a swirl of speculation and misinformation? We're diving deep into the multitude of investigations, including the 9/11's Commission report, to unravel the truth behind these claims. The journey doesn't end here. After dispelling or confirming the 9/11 conspiracy, we'll be taking a leap into our next myth. So stick around and stay tuned as we answer the question: did Columbus really discover America? Moving on to our next topic, was the moon landing really staged? This myth has been popularized by various conspiracy theories suggesting that the US government faked the moon landing in 1969 to win the space race against the Soviet Union. These theories often point out perceived anomalies in the moon landing footage, such as the flag appearing to ripple in the windless environment of the moon, or the absence of stars in the photographs. However, these so-called anomalies have been explained by experts. For example, the flag's movement is due to the way it was unfurled and the inertia from when it was planted, not wind. As for the absence of stars, the lunar surface is quite bright in the sunlight, and the astronauts' cameras were set for daylight exposure, which made the faint stars invisible in the pictures. Moreover, thousands of people worked on the Apollo missions, and it would be nearly impossible for such a large-scale hoax to remain a secret for over 50 years. Additionally, the moon rocks brought back by the astronauts are significantly different from any rocks found on Earth, which supports the reality of the moon mission. So, despite the persistence of these conspiracy theories, the overwhelming evidence supports the fact that the moon landing was not staged. Hence, it's a myth that the moon landing was faked. Now, on to our next myth. Did Columbus really discover America? From the moon landing, we now travel back in time to one of the world's oldest and most enduring mysteries. Who actually built the pyramids? The pyramids of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, have long been a source of intrigue and speculation. Some theories suggest that these architectural marvels were the work of extraterrestrials or lost civilizations with advanced technology. But let's delve into the facts. Archaeological evidence overwhelmingly supports the conclusion that the pyramids were indeed built by the ancient Egyptians. These magnificent structures were not the work of aliens, but a testament to the engineering prowess and organizational skills of the Egyptians. They were built as tombs for the pharaohs and their consorts, and their construction involved a workforce of thousands, including architects, engineers, stonecutters, and laborers. The construction of the pyramids was a massive state project that took several years to complete. The stones used were quarried locally and moved into place using sledges, ramps, and manpower. The precision and sophistication of the pyramids, impressive as they are, can be attributed to the Egyptians' understanding of mathematics and their skill in stone cutting rather than to extraterrestrial intervention. So it's clear that the pyramids were not built by aliens or lost civilizations, but by the ancient Egyptians themselves. It's a myth that the pyramids were built by anyone else. Now let's move on to another enduring myth. Was Napoleon Bonaparte really short? Was Napoleon Bonaparte really short? This is a question that has puzzled many for centuries. The popular narrative paints a picture of Napoleon Bonaparte, the French military and political leader, as a man of diminutive stature. However, this is a myth that needs to be debunked. Let's take a journey back to the early 19th century. Napoleon Bonaparte, a name synonymous with power, ambition, and military prowess, was actually of average height for his time. The French system of measurement, known as the French foot, pegged Napoleon's height at 5'2". However, this measurement is often misinterpreted because the French foot is longer than the English foot. In the English system of measurement, Napoleon stood at approximately 5'7", an average height for Frenchmen of his era. The origin of this myth is quite fascinating. It probably stems from a combination of factors, including the misinterpretation of the French and English units of measurement, as we've just discussed, but there's more. Napoleon was often depicted with his imperial guard, which was made up of very tall soldiers. This visual contrast may have contributed to the perception of Napoleon as being shorter than he actually was. Moreover, English caricature artists in the 19th century often portrayed Napoleon as short, a depiction that was politically motivated to belittle the French leader. Over time, these images have perpetuated the myth of Napoleon's short stature, and it has become ingrained in popular culture. In reality, Napoleon wasn't towering over his contemporaries, but he certainly wasn't looking up at them either. He was a man of average height, living in a time when average was a little different than what we consider average today. Now, isn't it interesting how myths can become so deeply embedded in our collective consciousness that they are often accepted as facts? It's always essential to look beyond the surface and question what we believe to be true. Therefore, it's a myth that Napoleon Bonaparte was short. Are you enjoying these historical revelations as much as we are? If you're having a blast, why not press that like button and subscribe? It's a fun way to keep more myth-busting content coming your way. Stay tuned for more myth-busting facts. So how many of these historical myths did you believe? We've traveled on an enlightening journey today, uncovering the truth behind some of the most commonly held misconceptions about history. First, we navigated the myth that Columbus discovered America. As we discovered, indigenous people were living on the continent thousands of years before Columbus set sail. Then we measured up the myth that Napoleon Bonaparte was short. In reality, he was of average height for his time. Taking a brief pause, we reminded you to like and subscribe. A reminder that we're echoing once again. Your support helps us continue this voyage of discovery, and we appreciate every thumbs up and new subscription. We then dove into the chilling myth that witches were burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials. As it turns out, most were hanged, and some were even crushed. And finally, we unmasked the belief that the pyramids were built by slaves, revealing that they were actually constructed by skilled workers. In debunking these myths, we've seen how history can sometimes be a game of telephone, where facts get twisted and distorted over time. But by questioning what we think we know, we can get closer to the truth. With your support, we'll continue to question, continue to learn, and continue to share these fascinating revelations with you. So don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed our historical journey today, and subscribe to stay updated on our future adventures in myth busting. Remember, history isn't always as it seems. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next video.